Hi, Mike here. I'm a product designer at CrystalCommerce. Joining me today is also Matthew, our lead of UX design, here to give you a deeper look at the project management process and improvements we're implementing. Also a sneak peek of the new admin we're working on and a few other updates as well. If you haven't already watched our previous introduction video, we recommend you do that now. Check the description for a link to that video. Now I'll hand it over to Matthew so he can show you some of the stuff we've been working on.
Thanks, Mike. First, let's take a quick look at one of the smaller legacy tickets that's almost done. The Buylist Terms Agreement feature will allow you to optionally enable a pop-up for Buylist order checkout with terms which the customer must agree to. When the user checks the box, they can proceed with the Buylist checkout. If they cancel, they'll be taken back to the Buylist page on your site. This optional tool should reduce some of the problems you run into when receiving buy orders and help inform the customer of what to expect. Although the feature I just showed you is a smaller, medium priority feature, we do have a number of high priority, more time-consuming legacy tickets in progress that directly address more of your feedback. Those updates are going to save you time, give you more control, and make your life a lot easier. Subscribe to our YouTube channel now and enable notifications so you won't miss any of these exciting upcoming updates. Now let's take a look at the new admin design and functionality. The demo you're about to see is a handoff video made for our engineers, which goes over the main interface and core features. Today I'm going to give a demonstration of the new admin frame, which includes this top area and the left sidebar. One of the core features is the left side menu, which when you hover on it expands out as an overlay. Note that it does not push the content here over, it only goes as an overlay on top of it, absolutely positioned, and then I can quickly do whatever I want and then be done with it. Also, if I want it to stay open, I can click pin to sidebar, and it will then push this content over so that this is always open. And then if I want to go back to full width, I can just unpin that and it goes back to the collapsed version and the content goes to full width again. One of the features in the left side menu is the account dropdown. When I click that, I have the option to switch to a different account as well as to get to my settings or log out. So if I click this right here, then you'll notice that the top avatar changes up there as well, and then I've switched my account. Quick and easy. Now I'll demonstrate the search, which I'm calling the global power search because it's a lot more powerful and has more features and ability to search through more things than the legacy admin search. To open the search, I just click anywhere up here and it opens an overlay across everything, which I can then easily X out of. So when I go into the search, I get recent searches, suggestions, which I can clear, saved searches, which we'll take a look at later as well, and then I have the ability to type something. Now when I type something, the way it works is it shows me categories within which I can search for that term. So it's not showing me real search results just yet, it's showing me places I can look for what I typed. However, there are some relevant suggested search terms here, but primarily the feature is that they can choose a category within which to search. So if I want to search for Jace within products, I then get the actual search results for that. Now, if I click back up here, it brings me back to that same thing where I can choose a different option to search within, or I can clear this and then type a new search term. One of the great things about this type of search where it gives you categories to choose from is that you can search for pretty much anything you want to in an efficient manner. So let's say I'm looking for a customer and I type in their name or a phone number or whatever, then I can just immediately go down and click customers and it will find what I just typed. Or I can type an order number up here and then click orders and so on. So it's very efficient and a simple, easy way for me to search throughout the admin for anything I'm looking for and not have to go through all the stuff in the sidebar navigation. One exciting thing about this design for a search interface is that we can scale it up over time and add additional categories of things that they can search through. For example, we could have them actually be able to search for categories of products, for their collections, for different users across the platform, such as manufacturers, retailers, and their friends, public profiles, deck lists, and the list goes on of all the different things that we could possibly add here. The remaining portion of the frame that we need to take a look at are these icons up here, which open a side panel. So I'm going to click notifications, and I get a quick view of the notifications. I won't go into detail about the notifications panel itself because that's a separate feature that we'll talk about later, but we just want to show that this opens up a side panel and it pushes this content over temporarily. I can then click this to close out of it. Same thing with cart, which we don't have a spec for yet, and also for the help, which we don't have a spec for yet, but we'll be designing something that looks really nice. Now I'm going to give you a more detailed explanation of the project management and process improvements we mentioned in our previous video. I want to go over these changes because they're going to increase speed, efficiency, and communication within CrystalCommerce and will lead to faster results and more timely updates for you. First up are releases. Release is simply another name for a version of a product or feature. The first version is the MVP or minimum viable product, which contains only the core features required for the user to accomplish critical tasks. After testing, the first release is deployed for users to work with and give feedback on. Meanwhile, we begin working on Release 2, which involves bug fixes, improvements to existing features, and addition of new features and enhancements. When everything in Release 2 is ready, it's tested, then deployed for the end users. This process continues on as the product or feature is progressively improved and enhanced through sequential releases. Note that although smaller bug fixes may be saved for a release, urgent bug fixes can be deployed at any time between. Next up is the improved project organization structure and processes we're working on now. Within our project management software, we have workspace containers and nested sub-workspaces for clear organization. Within a Leaf workspace, we have a project or product release or a list of tasks. Nested within each release or list is a queue of ideas, tickets, features, and so on. Each of those items contains information such as the spec, acceptance criteria, assigned user, and a lot of other helpful metadata. The features and tasks can then be prioritized and go through a clear workflow of statuses from speccing through deployment. As mentioned in our previous video, we've created new separate ideas portals which are tied to each of the workspaces. This keeps things organized, easier to manage and review, and allows faster promotion of ideas into features within the relevant release. See the link in the video description for more info about the new ideas portals. That's it for me. Now I'll hand things back over to Mike.
Just a reminder, the more engagement we get, the more often we can post updates. So please comment and hit the thumbs up if you liked the video. Also be sure to subscribe and click the bell to enable notifications. Thanks for joining us today.